Today, I pray for my understanding to be at the highest level. Life story. I was in the bedroom and I asked the Holy Ghost a question day before yesterday. That's why I behave. No matter what happens, I'll ask him a question. I said, if I'm wrong, tell me, and I will definitely talk. He lectured me verbatim. He gave me lectures verbatim. He said, you are not wrong, you are very right. There's a routing on social media, and he said, you are not wrong, you are right. I said, how? Tell me. He said, listen carefully. Understand, it's very deep. He said, I was made sin for man. True? And I said, yes. He said, does anybody love sin? Some people say, why are you with a sinner? He said, every believer that is a sinner, they say, why are you with a sinner? He said, preach to the sinner, but don't go and walk with him. Is that not true? I said, yes. And he quoted scriptures. He said, don't be conformed with don't walk with the ungodly. Sit on the counsel of the ungodly. It's not me. He said, do not be deceived, correct good manner. He began to give me scriptures. He said, because I paid a price for sin, that you might be righteous. So all you owe a sinner is to give him the word of salvation, but you don't associate with the sinner. I say yes. And then so also I paid the price for poverty. I was made poor that you might be rich. So you help the poor, you don't associate with the poor. He said, you are not wrong. Your duty is to help the poor. If you say you want to remain poor, then my death and resurrection is in vain. Because I was made poor that you might be rich. To remain poor is an anathema to Christianity. I don't care who say it. If you remain poor, it's against the Bible. Then you're saying the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ is in vain. To remain a sinner, it's not acceptable. If you remain a sinner, you didn't accept Jesus. Everybody gets angry with sin. The part of the Bible you understand is what benefits you. Why are you angry with sin? You are not angry with poverty. He said you are angry with sin, be angry with poverty. Because I was made poor that you might be rich. So not accepting riches is against the Bible. Just like you not accepting righteousness is against the Bible. Because if you remain a sinner, you will not, that means my death is in vain. And my resurrection is in vain. That's why we tell sinners, no. If you see a believer, let me ask you, a believer walking with sinners, I think you complain. You say, why this man associating with sinners like this? You say, why can't he preach to them? Then why are you associating with the poor? When I pay the price for the poor, you help the poor, but you don't associate with the poor. But understanding is in degrees. I'm operating at a level of revelation, while people are operating at the level of this. So what I'm talking is too deep. It's too what? It's too deep. You are not poor because you don't have money. No. No. You are not poor because you don't have money. Poverty is mentality. You can have money and be poor. Why is Nigeria called a poor nation? They have oil. Am I talking? Even in natural, why is that the poor nations don't associate with the rich nations? In United Nations, only the top nations speak to the top. So a Christian, if you think you want to be poor, it's your blessing, if you can remain. But I decree, by the power of his resurrection, poverty leaves your life today. If you accept it, you become it. He said it was, now, he who knew no sin. How many of you accept righteousness? Do you accept righteousness? You gave your life to Jesus? Why do you accept righteousness and not accept prosperity? Did Jesus die for only sin? He said he died for your poverty. Do you accept health? Why do you accept health? Why don't you remain in sickness? He became sin for you. He became poverty for you. He became sickness for you. So you might have sound health. 3 things: sin, poverty, and sickness. Jesus paid a price. By stripes. Why do you accept it? Why don't you remain sick? Why do you accept that you should be healed? Why do you accept that you should come out of sin? Why do you accept that you should not come out of poverty? It's an ungodly or godly gospel. Unacceptable gospel. Lift your right hand. Or whatever I say with me, with faith. Whatever I just paid the price for. I must be a full beneficiary of all. He paid the price for poverty. He paid the price for sin. He paid the price for sickness. These three things will never be identified with me. I decree and I declare, and it shall be so in my life, in the name of Jesus. But he gave us revelation. He gave us what? That you went to a theology school does not mean you have understanding. It was dictating to me in the bedroom. He said, my son, you are not wrong. I was made poor that you might be rich. So if they don't accept it, that means they're saying my death and resurrection is in vain. If you can accept sin to righteousness, accept poverty to wealth. Am I talking to you? Well, if you don't accept it, you remain poor. I accepted it, that's why I came out of poverty. Can you stay with sinners? No, you only preach gospel to sinners. Can you be friend to sinners? Why? It's against the Bible. You can preach to a sinner to be born again. If you're a friend to